Hi, Michael Dennin here, and this is the Physics of X, where X is everything except politics. We're at the end of our propulsion, flight sequence. We're going to have one more Star Wars video today, but make sure you like it, make sure you've subscribed to the series, and ring that bell so you always get your notifications. I'm wrapping up with what I'm calling next generation Star Wars ships. Now, some of these are not that new. They've been around in the animated series for a while, but the new TV series have really highlighted them. And I want to talk about a few cool ships that I really like. So one is Ahsoka Tano's ship from the recent Ahsoka Tano series. The Mandalorian ship I might mention, I might not, and if you want it really talked about, you can let me know. But I do like the Ghost from Rebels, that's Hera's ship. And finally, there's Luthen Rael's ship from the TV series Andor. Why am I highlighting these ships? Well, a couple of reasons. If you remember the other videos, I've really focused on one feature, that when you're in the Earth's atmosphere, you tend to use air for lift, and you have to worry about the drag on the ship, and flying through the air is one thing. And when you're in space, you don't have any of that. You need engines that point in different directions, and you don't need to worry about aerodynamics. And what I like about these ships is the design was really focused, I think, more on the aesthetics and neat things they do. I'm going to highlight here Ahsoka Tano's ship. It changes shape randomly. It has a part that rotates relative to the other parts. Now, it's not completely random. It's used for different things in different sort of moments of what she's doing, whether it's battle or just flying. But what I like is it acknowledges the fact that if you're primarily going to be in space, you can design your ship to be whatever shape you want to achieve other goals other than flight, as long as you have your propulsion systems that work in different directions so you can be very maneuverable. Now, her ship does have a decent shape when it's folded up to go into the atmosphere. So that's the cool piece about it. Now, if I switch to Hera's ship, the Ghost, that has a more classic design and shape, but has the fun feature of having a little mini ship attached to it and the ability to separate and do interesting things. And again, you've got the different propulsion systems. For all of these, I mentioned in the earlier video, you really want to look closely at your weapons. Are they tied to your direction of flight, or are they movable? And these are things I'll go into in the blog post, because there's going to be a lot more detail there for you to read about. I do want to wrap this up with Luthen Rael's ship from the Andor series. Now, this is where I close by moving away from propulsion. For those of you who are Star Wars fans, you probably know deeply that the most common thing to happen in Star Wars is for a ship to be tracked. People are getting tracking sort of devices stuck on them all the time in almost every episode. It's really fascinating from a physics point of view that you apparently have all these tracking devices that work at very large distances, but you don't have any tracking device jamming systems or tracking device detection systems. Nobody thinks to look for them. Nobody thinks to sort of eliminate them or cover them up. Luthen Rael is the only one that I know of who actually has a ship that can basically get rid of a tracking device, detect it, and cover it up. If you know of another one, I'd love to hear it. Let me know in the comments. If you want to know more about tracking devices, let me know, because I can do a whole sequence on that, the physics of tracking devices. This wraps up our flight and spaceships. Again, there's going to be more detail in the blog post, but I can come back to these. If you want videos on any of these ships in more detail, let me know. And this has been the Physics of X. This has been the Physics of X, where X is everything but politics. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get notifications of every episode coming weekly straight to you.